show of hands.
Smells so funny.
I love you. That is absolutely the first thing I think when I see. Right after that first waterfall. God, they put so much chlorine to make this thing.
But it's good.
It's
like I just want to get a cup in that water.
Yeah, okay. Let's not go that far. All right. As you notice, the scene right here is part of troubleshooting. The thing about these three pirates is they're focused on this one dog, right? The one dog with the one thing, a key in his mouth. One key. So the three pirates have what in there? They got a dog bone, they're whistling them over, trying to get that key because, of course, this is in the section of the Pirates of the Caribbean where there's large timber falling around, burning. However, these are not smart pirates. What they don't notice is that this is three chambers into one. Three separate gates in that scene, each having a lock with one key, which is what the dog is showing. Now, if you see the Pirates of the Caribbean, you see these keys, right? Okay. Jack Sparrow's actually in one of the three cells. That's why the dog is having three keys. This is showing that the dog has one key. So the pirates don't even notice that. What they also don't notice, let's see if this will work. I'm going to play that for you. Is there's this large, giant, beam going across, hitting that gate. The pirates are not looking at the whole picture. They can't figure out how to get out because they're not seeing everything and they're not working as a team, which is a part of troubleshooting. So let me show you that. This is an infrared shot, so that's why it's all black and white, but you can see right here that that beam is actually going into the gate, opening it up, and it's fully open for the pirates to get out. And that chamber is all together linked together. So next time you go on the ride, it's really dark in there, look over and look at the beam going through the gates and go, pirates are stupid. All right, so we gotta look at the big picture when we're doing anything with troubleshooting. Oh, I have to do this because it's a funky video. I have to do it. All right, so who am I? Well, my name is Mr. Moreau, and I work at the Poway Center for Performing Arts in Poway, California, which is actually in the city of San Diego, okay? I am a technical director there at this theater. It is an 800-seat theater, and it is one of two theaters in the nation that they thought in the great 80s that they were going to build. They built a professional performing arts center which is owned and operated by a city on a school campus. Yeah, so it is a roadhouse. I do not produce theater like you guys do. I present theater. I take your guys' work, if you guys were the high schooler, which is probably high school, and I put it on stage within the elements that they give me. And that is what my job is there. So, my background. So, from 1990 to 95, I worked for a company called, actually I made some notes here, called Theater Corporation of America. Okay, it's been so long, they're defunct. They put on touring shows with original cast in the shows, and they brought them over to the West Coast. And I was about my 20s, and I did not take theater in high school. I took a little bit in college, but what I did take in college was radio and television. And the interesting thing about when I started working theater was that they were using radio and television sound and lighting. Theater had not developed very well. You guys are blessed. Theater and sound is rapidly moving very quickly, which could be the reason why you took this class, troubleshooting, because it is now getting extremely difficult to troubleshoot because how fast theater is moving when it comes to technical equipment, especially in sound. Lighting is kind of slowing down, but sound is now picking up. So I also work for Pasadena Playhouse, which is not far from here, right? And then the San Diego Repertory Theater, and then my home place, which is the Poway Center for Performing Arts. As a technical director, I have done over 3,000 shows. Do not ever live your life doing shows. This is my wife over here. She knows that I work every single day. And yeah, sometimes 7 days a week. That's like I work in the military. I don't show up, you know. I don't come. All right. My responsibilities are liaison between touring groups that come in, and are coming on in what we call one-offs. So I only do one show sometimes. So I have this huge production doing just one show. Let me just show you. That's the outside. That's the lobby. That's what it looks like inside. We have a full fly system in there. 48 line sets. Line sets are what we call battens or flying little battens that come behind on stage. and our electrics. We have 250 instruments, and that is pretty much a very large center there. My job is to maintain all the equipment and purchase new equipment. I'm also responsible for the HVAC system, which is all the air conditioning unit, the fire alarm system, entire plant, and the cosmetic of the building. So I have a huge responsibility. And because of that, I felt, they're wondering about, troubleshooting. I troubleshoot as soon as I walk in the building. There's always something wrong. I'm always having to fix something, because it's not perfect when you're running a building as much as we are. We're only a 10-month season, and we do 200 shows. So we're squeezed and doing a lot. We don't have any downtime. I have 15 part-time technicians in my building. Is there anybody from Macamel? We got a few here, a few back there. Yeah, we have one of them. One of them I met, actually this week I would have met him in elementary school. The city probably does a winter fest. And it's actually happening right now, and there's actually another thing happening in the building, and I was lucky to come up here with 2 activities going, but his name is Spencer. He is one of the technicians. I met him in elementary, and over the years, I hired him to be on there. So he's one of my 15 stage crew. We have stage crew from theme parks, so Legoland and SeaWorld, and then I have one audio engineer who is the audio engineer for Survivor, and he works in the building. Survivor's actually audio is done in San Diego, and filming is done and edited up in LA. That's interesting. Okay, so here's a picture of something you should not do as a technician, production manager, and props, costumes. You do not walk on stage to troubleshoot while a live performance is happening. Do not do this. Do not turn on the house lights. Do not forget to call if there's a problem, because it's going to look like that. So this is actual photograph of an incident we happened, and we took the picture, and that's of course Home Free, their acapella group, and they were surprised we're on stage. But we said, hey, since we're out here, we'll just take a few photographs, turn on the house lights, and there you go. So that is Home Free. Yeah. All right. That's my notes. I already talked about that. This is a load-in for a show. Question for you guys. My question for you is, you guys have a ghost light on your stage?
Yes.
You do? Oh, no, I see some no's. Okay, well, a funny thing is, the troubleshooting has to start off at the beginning of any time you walk into the building. And the first thing you should have, and the first thing you should take off, is the ghost light, if you don't have one. What is a ghost light? Does everybody know what a ghost light is? Does everybody not know what a ghost light is? Okay, a couple people know. Let me see if I have it. There's a ghost light. Right there. There's a ghost light. It's right there in the bottom corner. Its purpose is the last light you put on before you leave the theater. Okay? Turn on this ghost light. And its main purpose is to keep the ghost away, so that you come back and have a successful show tomorrow, or whenever you come back. It's also to keep people from falling over and finding out where light switches is, cables, set pieces, and everything else that's on the side that could be on your stage. If you don't have one, you can turn on a single light on your lighting board, and the dimmer will remember it and stay on all night. And then when you come back. But you should, this is one thing that I do recommend. This first part of troubleshooting is you have a ghost light. All right. So things we're going to talk about is that no 2 theaters are alike. There's a lot of different theaters out there, and they all are not created equal. However, because of these systems that are coming up, there's going to be some failures. So we're going to be talking about some of this is what I'm going to talk about in the workshop. I'm going to be talking about safety first. We're going to talk about a little about safety, which I did a little bit about the ghost light. I'm going to talk a little more about that. What to do when trouble arises, who you're going to contact. Mechanical or electrical? It's actually the first thing you should think if you're going to troubleshoot any type of theatrical equipment, even props, sound, so props and costume. Costumes I put down as mechanical, because there are some certain things or quick devices that we use to do clip changes that are mechanically made on costumes and around that can fail, and there are a few things that I have to fix those. Test it once, check it twice. How to prevent failures? Yeah, that's right. And then light, sound, costumes, props, carpentry, and the tools of trade to help you guys out. So I'm going to ask a couple of questions about you guys. I know Mount Carmel's here. I needed another school, some schools here. One representative from school. Yes?
Cicero, us 3.
You 3 are from the, how big's your theater? I mean, how many seats do you have?
320.
Three?
320, I think.
320. Do you have an orchestra pit?
We do not.
You do not have an orchestra pit, and do you have anything that flies in and out on the electricals?
We have one electric over our house that flies in and out.
And is it like right down, down first row?
Like 4 rows up, I would say.
How do you focus those lights?
With a ladder in between, staggered between like 3 rows,
Yeah.
I think, roughly. A 12-foot ladder between 3 rows.
12-foot ladder, huh? Okay, 12-foot ladder up there. Above, that's how you focus the lights, yeah.
So
Okay.
2 hours to do it.
2 hours to do that. Okay. I'm gonna come back to you because I'm gonna show you some solutions to that, all right? And you're gonna be like, what? And I know it's gonna be a little bit of mine, but we're gonna figure out some solutions. We're gonna have to learn how to do a little bit of bench focusing, which is also known as bounce focusing, and you can do this and be successful with it. Other theaters? Yes?
Notre Dame,
Notre Dame, yeah. How many seat theaters is that?
like 60,
60 theaters, 60 seats.
very small.
Very small. Wow, small public assembly facility. Oh, your rights must be really cheap. Anything at 100 seats. So how big's your stage?
Not that big.
Not that big. Do you know?
No, I don't know the exact.
You know, what's your position there?
Audio.
Audio. What's your position there?
I'm a stage manager.
Stage manager, you are? Lighting, and you?
Sounds
I figured sound. You know, we talked about the smell of a theme park ride. I figured sound. All right. Another school. Yes.
Rancho Buena Vista.
Okay. How many seats theaters that?
230.
230. Do you have anything that flies in and out?
Um,
You should have first, I think you have electric that flies up in the house, don't you? You don't have electric in the house? Okay. Alright. So, alright, cool. What positions are you guys? Stage manager? Sound?
Lighting.
Lighting, alright, good to know. Gear this for you guys. Alright.
Costa High School.
And how many seats are your house?
360.
360. Anything that flies in and out?
No.
No? And what is your position there?
Anything that they need.
Anything that they need. I love that position. That's actually my position too, TD. Truck driver. No, I mean technical director. Yeah. Yes.
Beckman High School,
And how many seats you have?
400, I believe.
400. You have anything that flies in and out?
I'm not 100% sure.
You're not 100% here. And how many other people are here with the school? You, and what do you do?
I'm just a kid that's not in the program but hangs out a lot.
I've seen those. They're around everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm stage manager and head of audio.
Oh. Stage manager and head of audio. You know, equity stage managers are allowed to run the sound system on Broadway shows if the cast is under 12. So you can keep in mind on that. They're allowed to do audio and that. They have to be called Union 1 and they have to be equity, but it is permitted. Because when I was running shows, the stage manager could do both, which I was not happy because I was sound. Other schools, yes.
Citrus Valley.
And how many seats do you have? Seats do you have?
About like 200.
About 200. Susan, anybody have any balconies? No, there's balconies. Okay, 200. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I turned around and you have a balcony.
Yeah.
Cool. I'll be right back with you. How many seats?
450.
450 with a balcony. That's interesting. Do you have a fly system?
Yeah, we have a full fire rail and everything.
Right. She should. She has a balcony. When you bring the audience up higher, guess what? Your proscenium gets to go higher, which means now you need a fly system. Every theater that has a balcony pretty much has some type of fly system, or what we call fly gallery. There are some theaters, like you guys have some theaters, that have the fly system, but it only goes up to the roof, which is the same height as the theater roof, or should we say the audience roof? Yeah, yours is taller. So do you do drops and stuff? You have drops, you probably have some electrics too in there, don't you?
Four electrics on stage, and then we have 3 in the house.
3 in the house, do you have catwalks?
Yes.
Yeah, have catwalks. What school is this?
Capital Valley.
Cabin Valley, very good. Let me go back to you, what's your position?
I do stage crew.
Stage crew. And is anybody else at this high school?
No.
Is this you? Oh, congrats, come on in. Any other theaters here? Yes.
Citrus High School.
And how many seats? Oh, it depends, I like it. Multi-purpose room. Oh, very good. Multi-purpose room, all right. And there's a lot of challenges. You probably made your multi-purpose. Multi-purpose room, a lot of challenges when it comes to troubleshooting. Why is that? A lot of people using your facility, right? A A lot of people. You got the big team tomorrow, you got a choir on stage, you got this, you got that, and next thing you know and who's using the light board today? I don't know. Why is it on? I don't know. Where's the mics? I don't know. It's all over the place. And then you try to figure that stuff out. You guys have challenges. I understand that. Lots of challenges. Anybody back there? Yes.
Eldorado,
Oh, and how many seats is yours?
about 700-800.
700-800 seats.
It's a district.
Yeah, it's a district feeder that's like on our campus.
Very good. This is good on campus. Do you have a full fly? Do you have a fly?
Yeah,
And do you know your light words?
no, I do not know it, no.
You. Who else is there with that school? Do you guys know the name of the light board?
We use the EOS.
So it's the ETC board, it's the US system? All right, don't be discouraged when it's a bigger theater's house, it's 800 or whatever. Due to the fact that you can all have the same equipment and all the same challenges. Sometimes the bigger theater is a little harder, sometimes the multi-purpose rooms are a little harder, it just depends. It's always greater, but there's also more things that go wrong, right? Okay. There we go. So what I may talk to you is about safety. The first thing is everybody should know how to use a fire extinguisher. Right? Isn't that correct? You know what? Everybody have a fire extinguisher on their stage? You gotta have a fire extinguisher on stage. It actually is required, I believe. It has to be on stage. You should have one in Texas as well, but it's gotta be on stage. Why is this? Why is this? Does anybody know why? I can tell you why you have to have a fire extinguisher. It goes back to 1911 when this happened. In American history, 600 people perished in a fire. And that fire was in a theater, it's called the earthquake fire. And it's the largest number of people who perished in a fire. Now, there's been other accidents that happened in American history, but it's the largest. And so all the codes, that panic hardware, the fire extinguisher, all that comes from one incident and it's in a theater. So you should know how to use a fire extinguisher. And the reason why is OSHA requires it. So if you get a job anywhere, they're going to require it. And I'm going to teach it to you right now real quick because I said I had to do safety. Fire extinguisher. Okay? And so this is a public service announcement. We're going to do a fire extinguisher real quick, right? All right. Here we go. We're going to pull the pin. Bloop. Pull the pin. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to aim at the fire, right? Aim at, okay? See the fire? No. I'm not going to point this at anybody, okay? Because I might accidentally hit it off. It is a small A base, so it's not that bad. The chemicals in here are just like baby powder, technically. So if you have one of these, it actually should be bigger. It should be a 10 base fire, so you should figure out the stage. Okay, so I pulled the pin, I aimed it, I squeezed it, and then I sweeped it back and forth. This is for small fires, okay? Not for anything big. Really small, tiny fire. If it's bigger than what you think you can handle with a fire extinguisher, get out of there. All right? Especially with your 800 seat theater. Do you have a fire curtain?
I think we do. Yeah, we do.
Is the fire curtain electrical or mechanical?
I think it's mechanical.
Yes, you guys are trouble. You guys don't know you have a fire curtain. Okay, if it's mechanical, you guys should know how to use it. And someone should be teaching. If it's electrical, I think it's electrical because the state went into, depending on how old your theater is, the state they said, oh, kids aren't going to learn how to pull a fire curtain. So, fire curtain, oh, what's that coming down? No, you guys know what a fire curtain is, right? Okay, still a job and others. But you should figure out how to do it. You should find someone who can teach you to list a little bit about that. And you should have smoke actions. You need to learn that too. They actually go together. And the reason why I'm pointing this out is because I'm finding this out everywhere I go. People have these big theaters or these big programs, and they just like, oh, we didn't know that. But there's going to be a time when you're going to want to know it. All right. So that's what you guys know. It's good to know too. All right. I might just skip that one. Who said we have a problem? Okay, so if we have any troubleshooting issues, do not do the name, blame the name. Let me write my name. The blame game. Okay, right? This is my theater. Anything go wrong? Okay, anything go wrong. I say you guys caused the problem. You didn't plug in that light, right? So it didn't turn on. Don't do that. It's not necessary. We all work together and troubleshoot this thing and make it all happen. So first thing you do is you got a problem in front of you. Who's got a problem? The actor is not lit. Too bad. No, you can't say that. The actor is not lit. So what are you going to do? Well, just 5 minutes before a show. It always happens 5 minutes before a show, right? It didn't happen a half hour ago. It's 5 minutes before the show. So you need to contact. Who are you going to contact? Yes.
Computer manager, the head teacher.
The head teacher, is there a position, a student you can contact? Right there, they all point to him, right there, you can contact that stage manager, right? You all, yeah, contact him, can we get him now, we're gonna contact him now. Contact the stage manager, that should be your first, then the teacher, but the stage manager normally is responsible to contact the teacher. Because there is a lot of pieces and elements. The stage manager might have a headset that goes to front of house, which then you gotta hold the audience back, right? Because they can't come in there while you're on the ladder. So there's my message always to the stage managers. They're the ones that kind of run your ship, right? So contact them to make sure that the teacher or who is in charge of your program is notified. And I would say 30 minutes. And they're gonna, what? It's 5 minutes for showman. Give yourself plenty of time to troubleshoot. Maybe this is simple. Maybe it's just a plug. Let's say, hey, maximum's gonna be 30 minutes. It's just the way it is. What? Okay. And then you tell a few people around, okay, so that's 2 minutes. And then you can come back to the stage manager within that 2 minutes. Okay, got it, good to go. Oh my God, they're heroes, because they were doing it in 30 minutes. All right, so give yourself plenty of time to troubleshoot. And of course, you want to make sure that this doesn't happen. So, especially lights, especially sound, especially props. We want to go on stage, we want to do a light check, right? We want to go check our address check. Does it have movers, moving lights? Who has mover lights? Moving lights. Got a few here and there? Yeah. You want to make sure that instrument went in the home position, and you want to create one cue. You want to make sure that mover moves. Okay? So you're going to create yourself a cue for your movers. And then you're going to check all your lighting the other way around and check all the circuits, all right? So I will tell you something that happened to me. We were checking, we were doing a dim check, and all of a sudden we heard screaming from the basement. And we're like, what the heck? Do we have a ghost down there? Who forgot to put the ghost light up? No. It was an electrician working on a plug. And it was open. So communication is always great when you're doing any type of testing and troubleshooting. Communicate, making sure everybody knows what's going on. Stage manager again, all right? Make sure you talk to them. For sound, you should be doing a sound check several times. If you're doing an outdoor venue, play a little bit of music or doing a sound check, that's fine. Making sure that everything works. Making sure the speakers are on. You should walk the room, turn on some music, whatever you prefer. As long as it's not, something that's, politically correct. Play it, and then walk around and make sure it's working. Make sure all the speakers are working. Make sure the monitors are working in orchestra page if you're doing that. Okay, monitors on stage. Just do a complete sound check. Let me tell you, these are just little simple things. Take about 10 minutes. But you won't get that 5 minutes after the show start. Hey, the monitors in the pit aren't working. And then, how are you going to troubleshoot that, right? Oh, what? What over there?
Oh, we're not using them, unplug the other one.
There, that's it. There's the answer. All right. Back. I will talk about that a little bit. And then, so there's a couple of tricks for sound. If you're outdoors, cold night, like tonight, if you're outdoors and you're doing a concert, run some music as a pre-show, walk in. The speakers are polyurethane cones, and they have glue in them. And the problem outdoors, when they get too cold, they don't vibrate correctly. And they sound really distorted. So you need to run music through it, believe it or not. And you'll hear every time you go to an amphitheater, there's always playing pre-show music. There is a reason for that, because every single speaker out there has to have a little bit of energy in it to keep it moving. Otherwise, it sounds bad. Lighting? You have a problem with light bulbs? Can I pass ERSs? You know what ERS is there? Spotlights. Source force. Okay, we're getting there. Source force. Oh, okay, I might be going too over your head. Sorry. Source force. Lithos. Lithos. Got Lithos. Very good. Pars. You got Pars, Fresnels. Okay. Do you have burnouts a lot? Got a lot of burnouts, right? Oh, I saw that. Yeah, we got a lot of burnouts. Okay. So, I'm going to tell you a quick and simple tip. These are tips that you should be using. And actually, if you read the manufacturer, they will actually tell you this from Ushio that makes the lamp. You should turn it on at 10% and make a macro. Leave it on at 10%. No one's going to see it. If you want to put it down to 5%, 5%. No one's going to see that. No, it's not going to be bright enough that you can get out of the instrument. It's warming up a lamp. The lamp is now warming up. When you start your show and you hit that first blackout, no one cares. You hit the next number and it's full lights, right? What are you doing? 0 to 10 to 100 miles an hour. You think that lamp likes that? No. But if you let it glow a little bit, it gives it a little heat, it doesn't matter. There it is. Make yourself a macro. Okay? And you don't want to make a macro, you see, we'll show you in the board. Yeah, make yourself a Mac, not that type of, okay, lights out. ERS is out. Lights out. This is going to do a little troubleshooting. All right? So the light is out, and we're going to call this a pyramid scheme. All right? Here's a term. We're going to call it, so the light is out, and it's on and active. And you know you have a failure. So this is how you're going to do it. You're going to do this like, all your energy is going to have to go to that active lights out. But we're going to all work as a team. First, we've already notified the stage manager we have the light out. I know the show. We got able to fix it. We're going to go up to our catwalks. We're going to bring down electric. We're going to go on a ladder. No, we're not. We're going to try to see what we know about that. Someone's going to hold that ladder for us because we're going to take a bunch of people to do this. All right. We're all going up there. We're all in blacks too, right? We're all in black, right? Okay. So we got the light board operator sitting in the booth. They're going to do this troubleshooting. They're going to check to make sure the power's on and the circuits are on to that instrument or mover. Now the movers normally take a dress. They're going to check that. They're going to check the dimmer and then check the shutter is open. You're asking me, why would they check the shutter is open? You know how many people have gone by, put up a lighting instrument and forget to open the shutters? And go, oh, wait. Also, a moving light, the shutter is closed in the home position. Okay? Home position is straight down, shutter's closed. As soon as light it opens, it could be the lamp's on, but the shutter's closed. Let's turn on the shutter, see if it's actually a lamp out. And some of the new LED lights that are coming from ETC, they have a shutter. So we got to make sure that you turn and make sure the shutter's on. Okay, so while the light board operator is doing that part, you guys down the master electrician and the stagehands, they're doing the rest. They're checking the instrument is in the correct address, possibility out. They're checking the plug, the circuit, and they're checking the lamp. Checking all those things to make sure that, what was the problem? The problem actually was the lamp. But I think the problem was the two down thing. The actor's missing their spot, not in the right spot, or the focus wasn't correct. It's out of focus. All right? Those are the two things that could happen. Have you guys ever been in an earthquake during a theatrical production? No. You do not want to be in an earthquake during a theatrical production. It did happen to me once. I was at junior college. It was a nice Sunday evening performance. And we're doing, I can't hear the water's running. And earthquake happens. And the ceiling tiles came they weren't tied to the ceiling very well, so they came down on the light board. So I went underneath the desk. And there's only four lights on. So there's 4 lights on, 2 in the front, 2 in the back, 2 actors on stage, one of them's in a wheelchair. I'm underneath the desk, and I hear us turn the house lights on, just after the earthquake. And I'm reaching up trying to find the panic button. It's happened to be on the wall. I turn on the house lights, and the 2 lights are like all over the place. And I'm like, okay, that's great. How are we gonna handle this one? Well, we didn't. We actually canceled the show because I didn't look behind me or ask where the rest of the technicians were because the rest of the ceiling was falling apart. And when it came up, there was just too much dust and stuff like that. But focus is important, and that one was really interesting. The reason I mentioned that is troubleshooting can change really quick. And there are times where you just go, okay, we're done, we've done everything we can. That one, we have Mother Nature gives us. Anyways, this is supposed to fix. That's probably the next thing. Oh, let me show you a few things you got. Cam tester. Now, you guys have twist lock or 3-pin? This is 3-pin, twist lock is the big one. I know you guys are looking at twist lock. Normally, educational code is twist lock. This has a little more high voltage in it, a little more amps going inside of it, but you can get a GAM tester. This thing will check the circuit out on your plug. When you do, you plug this in, so you take your instrument out, plug it in, make sure that you have power going from the dimmer to your circuit, and it's also to check the lamp. Okay, it's called a GAM tester. Another way you can do it is just with a regular voltage meter, or you can make your own. There you go. This is mine. The 3-pin. Go to Home Depot. Boom. Made my own tester. Plug it in, sees if the circuit's working. Unfortunately, it doesn't show a lamp. So, get a multimeter. This. Oh, you guys decided to work. And I'll find a lamp. And of course, if I knew where I put the lamp, I would show it to you. Put the lamp in there. Anyways, what you do is you take your leads and you hook it to the bottom end of the lamp, and that should tell me, using a meter, if the lamp's good enough. Right? It's a complete loop circuit. Oh, there it is. I knew it was. Oh no. Just a ticket. All right, it's good. Okay, I did my first check. That was my first check to make sure my equipment's working. I'll check this. And so it says my lamp's good. Notice I did something wrong right here? What am I doing wrong with this? Well, I'm putting my fingers on what? That's what happens when you do this. On the skin, right? And then what happens? It blows. You know, I got a lot of these. Because we work in the dark, we don't even have a headlamp on, we put these on our instruments, lots of these, they burst up and they blow up. Yeah? What am I gonna do with this tonight? How am I gonna take care of this so this doesn't happen?
Alcohol.
Very good, you got it. You got it, alcohol. Okay, we'll show you another quick trick in lighting. And we'll talk about this. What is this? What is this? Best light, music stand light. Okay, music stand light. How many people, okay, so this is music stand, this is normally how people like to wrap it. Okay? This is how I wrap it. But what's the failure here? I'm gonna be working on this thing probably if I keep doing this. I'm gonna be pulling out that, my lab's not gonna work, and it's gonna take me a few minutes to do an uncoil. So what is the best way to do this? So this is music stand lamp. So let's people have to set up the orchestra pit. You gotta set up a concert. Yeah, I'll put pressure on that thing. Stick the inside here. Close it. Now you protect the lamp. You're not putting any pressure on it. And then you go like this. And you're ready to plug it in and go. Okay, we'll quick check. All right, let's go back. Okay, so the next thing I'm talking about is human to machine interfacing. And that is equipment that is going to tell you that there's a fault. All right? Have you seen what this is? COM, right? Has anybody got these COMs? So wireless intercom? What do you guys got? You got clear COM?
Yeah.
Wired, we call it with a leash?
Yes.
And who else got clear COM with a leash? Clear COM, this is wireless. Clear COM. Okay, so this is telling me it's not working, all right? So this is one way that companies interface with their equipment. I want you to figure out how to turn that on. You're troubleshooting it.
Yes,
It's not on. All right, who else wants to try this? What do you know? You have these. Here you go.
Yeah, it's powered.
Okay.
Oh, is it the thing that you
Turn it on. Okay, now you gotta do next thing. Put the headset on. Now you gotta take the headset on. Now you gotta talk to her. You gotta say at least hello.
I heard numbers. I think it's.
Oh,
I think it's choosing a channel, but I don't know what channel.
It's actually just going up to the 5. So hit the ice. So it should be. So right now you're flashing, which means that your mic is hot. Are yours flashing?
Hello?
Oh, cool. This is nice. Wow, this is.
That's so much better, right?
He's gonna take that home.
No, that's what he's gonna take it home. He's the patient, which is over there. So you just troubleshoot that real quick. It said that it had a problem with it, which is this. This is telling me that this is not addressed. And then it said there that the light wasn't flashing, which means your mic wasn't on,
Right.
and you had to turn it on. So this is one of the ways that companies will do. They normally use some type of red type of light. So ETC is getting better at it. ETC has a lot of different, in the light board, they can actually show through programming that your dimmer's not working, your light's not working, your moving light is not working, sorry, and that you can simply fix it from the control booth. Because it'll ask you a series of commands that, would you like me to perform this? Would you like me to readjust your instrument? Would you like me to figure out why the dimmer's not working? And you give the execute cue. Yes, because I do not want to figure this out myself. This is possible, and I got it for you. And normally that fixes it. ETC is good. Audio, soundboards, audio. Who has a who's got sound here? Yeah. Sorry, we're not there yet. They have this thing called Dante. It's just been out the last 5 years. Yeah, you're here. Take the
We
class.
don't have it, but I love
We've used it before.
The Dante is super nice.
Yeah. Did you take the class?
No.
Take the class. It's free online. Just take the class. You'll learn all about Dante, and you'll be a superstar when people come out and ask you, "Oh yeah, I can do that." Dante's new, and it's a way so that pieces of equipment for sound from different manufacturers can talk to each other, and they can troubleshoot. It's the best thing out there right now because, of course, in lighting we have DMX, which you probably know about a little bit. In sound, we didn't have anything. and still a lot of sound engineers, I'm gonna go 55 and plus, until they die out, they love the old analog consoles, like they like to work on a typewriter instead of a computer. So as soon as they go away and manufacturers start manufacturing for us younger cloud people, then you're gonna start seeing some new improvements, and of course, you'll be able to troubleshoot. Flying systems like yours, do you have any buttons on your fly system that says that you're in fault or there's trouble? Do you know what a panic stop is?
Yes.
You guys know what a panic stop is? Does that actually sometimes happen and a red light starts flashing? Does someone walk by? No?
And hit it.
Hit it?
I don't think we've ever actually had something hit ours. Emergency stop.
Okay. So there's a reason for those things, and that's a case if there's something under there. They actually it talks within the motor, and if the impedance is different, then it will go in default. And sometimes there's nothing you can do with that. And next thing you know, you are going to always be focusing on putting things up online. So, I talked about rigging, sound consoles. This is interesting because this is one of the ones that I have that is very advanced. I told you that I work with the HVAC system, which is the air conditioning unit. I do pyro in our building a lot, and haze, not a lot, I shouldn't say that. I do once in a very while, but I also do haze and smoke effects. And when you do them, you gotta adjust your air conditioning unit so you aren't blowing it all out to the street because it has to have fresh air coming in. After the pandemic, we always had to have fresh air coming in, so that's it. I can control this with this. This tells me if things are wrong. If this was actually live, my computer's actually hooked up to the city's cloud right now because it's the only way I can do a PowerPoint. But it also can hook up to the HVAC system, and if this was live, all the motors would be moving, all the water flowing, you could see everything. It's actually pretty cool. But I could see that one of the motors isn't working, the belt broke off because the motor wasn't working. And then I could say, hey, to the stage manager, we got a problem. We're gonna crank up some more air from the auditorium because the stage is down. So that's why it's warm. But this is a way that in theater facilities use to do troubleshooting and seeing fault. Redundant systems. They're very important to have. This is to stop you from having to do a lot of troubleshooting. Okay? Redundant. I say that 100,000 times. You got 6 wireless mics, right? You got 6 wireless mics, and the teacher comes up and goes, I need a 6 wireless mic. I said, I don't have 6 wireless mics. I want 5. What? No, I want 5. You gotta have a backup. If you want the 6 mic, I need a backup. So, can we get a cable with a mic out there, just in case? Or can we rent another mic? Okay? Redundant systems on wireless body mics. Double mic them. Okay? Lead actors that don't come off stage. Annie, Oliver, those little tiny shows. Even if you don't come off stage, you can't change them, you can't sing, you can't fix the mic. Or it's like they're having this file. Things like that. We're in body mic. Go ahead and perform. Okay? Who has QLab? Who uses QLab? QLab, okay? Believe it or not, if you use it for video, you can't do this, but if you have audio, there actually is a free version of QLab you can use. Okay? Yeah, I see some taking out. Get 2 of them. Get 2 of them. Get the 2 free versions. They can actually work together, have one laptop running and the other laptop running. Have both laptops or computers running at the same time. If anything happens with that sound effect, with that, you got the other one to work with it. You switch over. Okay? So you can actually get, if you pay for the licensing, get the free version as well. They actually can tie together and run together at the same time. And it's really good that you do this because QLab sometimes goes in its own direction, but during the show, there it is behind you. It's ready to go. I don't know. You can look at every show on Broadway that uses QLab. You will see 2 QLabs running. I will almost guarantee that because I have not found it not happening yet. So we've done it. They love to do that. Soundboards. Okay, lighting boards are pretty easy. They kind of can tell you a few things. You can also usually get a Nomad for ETC. I mean, they got a Nomad. Anybody got a Nomad? No? Okay, it's about $300, a little expensive. However, it is the EOS system. It is your light board, right here, in a box. Okay? So if you can afford it, it's great to have. The reason for it is backup. You can run that program and this program, and if your console fails in the middle of the show, you're gonna grab that laptop, bring it over, bring up the cube, plug in your DMX and go. You don't program with it because it's very hard because it's a laptop-based or computer-based thing. Let the computer do that, but you can simply send over your thumb drive right into your computer and have it done. And that way that information's over there and you can run it. You don't actually have to run them at the same time, but have it up and ready to go, just in case. Hey, redundant system. All right. You don't have to do this, but if you can, it's, like I said, it will solve some issues that you have. I'm gonna go to this. This is a, you guys looking at this, look at this. This band wants all this stuff on stage. It is a lot on stage. But what it's missing is my redundant system. I have not yet received, out of probably 500 to 600 shows when it comes down to sound, a stage clock that gives me additional mics and where they should be. I constantly have to put additional mics on stage in case, you know, the bass player vocals go out, or something happens like the drum mic goes out. So we at all our shows, this is called backline, back here. This is the backline section. We have 2 spare mics back here, and we have 1 in front. Now, we do have a lot of mics, but we don't have to put a mic on that cable. We can leave a cable down there and just have the mic sitting on the stand. And when something goes wrong, we just grab the mic. You've probably seen them, roadies come out during a concert maybe, they come out there, they lay it down, they grab the mic cable, put it in, that's what it is, they have a backup plan. So, it's a good thing for you guys to do. This right here is called a cheat sheet, and something that production managers, stage managers, or anybody in charge of the crew could create for your theater or for your production. The cheat sheet on this particular one is our aerial platform lift. Who has aerial platform lifts and you know they're called genie lifts? I said when I say genie lifts, what? You guys using all ladders? Wow. You got a lift. You have a lift. You definitely have a lift. I know you do. You guys have an aerial platform lift? It looks like a lift lifts you up in the air. Oh no! That's not gonna go. Yeah, lift you up in the air. Yeah. Okay. Do you guys have a cheat sheet saying how that works? So it's basically, this student says, you press that button, it goes up. All right, so then that student goes up there, and someone walks over to the outlet and goes, hey, what's this plugged in for? And then walks away. Well, there's someone up there trying to focus your mic. Or if you're battery operated, you have the cheat sheet. The cheat sheet, what it is it tells how to operate the lift. But it also says how to get the person down if the lift fails. So every lift that's manufactured in the United States has normally this big red old button. Well, you're laughing over there.
You said it sounds awesome.
That sounds
awesome.
Yeah, we don't have one of those.
You
so-
don't have one of those?
We do ladders.
$800.
Yeah.
You don't have a lift?
No.
What the?
Yeah.
We don't have a boat big enough to get our lift in.
I'm sorry, I don't have a spare lift. I would if I could, but they normally have a little red button that pulls you down and brings the lift down there. And this theater, my theater, has a cheat sheet to show how it's done. We also, because OSHA requires everybody in our business, because they're all employees, to learn about the lift and have training, and then they get certification. So that's why there's a cheat sheet on our lift. This is the cheat sheet, shows how it's done. And we can do it for other things too. We have one for sound, shows how to turn on the soundboard, turn it off, and if there's any problems. And there's one thing out there, it says if there are any more problems on the soundboard, don't call me. That's on the bottom. Sound, lights, anything that you have to have set as well. If you have something very special on your set, how's it done? How's it gonna be fixed? What happens if it goes wrong? Send it to the process. You can send a set piece in process. Let's say you put like a hydraulic part on a jack that lifts up a door in the air. Okay? Okay, that's a lot of, okay, what happens if that thing fails? I don't know, fail it. Make it fail. Okay, is the screws tight enough? Okay. Sit there and try to see if you can fail the thing before it goes out on a production to work. Don't destroy it and don't break it. I'm not saying that, I'm just saying send it to the process, because then you can find out, oh, it failed because A, we didn't plug this in, A, the hose line didn't work, A, someone unplugged that. We failed because the actor sat on it. I don't know, there's something that failed with that thing. But run through some of the processes. Cable management and keep your equipment clean. How many people do that to the soundboard? Is that a proper technique to use when cleaning a soundboard? What? Using a garden hose to wash it down is not a proper technique? I think it is. I think that is an awesome technique to clean it up. I will tell you that every year you guys should go, and it's called zeroing out the soundboard. Bring it back to neutral, 0-1 where it's coming from manufacturer specs. Zero it out, clean it up, and then if you have any problems, because I know that the biggest problem with soundboards are fingernails. They seem to stay and land inside the console. I don't know how the press-on nails get there, but they do. And then the faders up, and then the faders don't go up. So, you want it once a year, take a look at it, clean it, bring it back to factory specs as we call it. It's called zeroing out the console, and actually you can do that with digital boards. It's a simple button, it's called a clean slate, hit the scene change button, and it zeroes out for you. And then you start from the beginning. It helps out, you don't have to deal with other people's messes and stuff like that. Clean up, and then use a paintbrush. I like the paintbrush, we're not gonna sell it, right? Use a paintbrush with no paint on it, it's a brand new paintbrush. And what you're gonna do is you're just gonna go over your console, over your light board, and get the dust off. Dust is our enemies when it comes to any type of equipment. And matter of fact, if you have any moving lights or any instruments in the air, they need to be maintained. That's the number one thing to keep from you troubleshooting them. They need to be clean, maintained, and they need to be dust off. So use just a brush off your fly gallery, brush off your instruments, moving lights especially. Dust is our enemy, we don't like it, and they ruin equipment within a couple of years, so depending on where you live. Cable management, that I hear is an actual tech booth. I have no idea where that is, but I don't think anybody could troubleshoot that. I don't think anybody can. How about this one?
Oh my God.
How about this? We're gonna troubleshoot that? Where's that red wire? I don't know. Okay.
7 hours of my life.
Another thing about this is power cable. This is called Socoplex and Camlock cable. That's all this. This should have been spread out across the stage, but sometimes you don't have enough real estate, so you have to do this. Unfortunately, if any mic cables get near this, this is going to cause a major problem. Why do you think that is? Anybody know in the sound world? Why do you think you run a mic cable does that?
You get noise.
You get noise, you're right. He came in here just for that. You get noise. You get a 60-second hum you cannot get rid of. The only way to get rid of it is to move your cable. Also, things that happen is if you have a mover on there with DMX signal on there, and it's going across, that mover might go crazy. Might. Maybe. Good. Just don't do it, right? All right. Then you have this guy, he's troubleshooting. Definitely he's looking for that red wire. He is looking all over and he cannot find cable management. Zip ties are your friends. Okay? Gap tape. Okay, I stay away from gap tape, and the only reason why, gap tape on the floor, yes, gap tape on the cables, only if they're there for a month or less. I'm going to talk a little bit about gap tape. The gap tape industry has changed to make it not be so sticky, and it's doing the opposite. All right? And then I'm going to show you right now the figure eight. Let's see. I'm going to use this. Use this guy. Do you know how to wrap cables? You know the over eight?
Yeah.
When you wrap the music stick, it was
She
just like,
makes fun of me because I didn't know how to wrap cables for the longest time. And I thought it was very cruel that she had to mention that.
What does that mean?
Oh, no.
What does that mean?
Not it.
Called cat's tail. Two cat's tails on a cable. It actually means something. Okay? In the union, the actual union, this means the cable's bad. Good. So, we have a bad cable, we're a stagehand, we just went on stage to solve that issue. We swapped out that cable, put the mic on there, actor or performer's happy, and we got the cable in our hands, but then we put it down, and what happens? It gets into that rat's mess, it gets back on stage again, right? So what do? Put 2 knots in it, that way we can go just about anywhere, and everybody knows, hey, wait a second, I saw 2 knots in the cable, is this bad? He goes, yeah, why is it not in the trash can? Okay? For me, because of the cost of these cables, I sometimes will just toss it out and get another one. And the reason why is, A, these fail inside. We in America can get connectors from all over the world. And sometimes the manufacturers get some cheap connectors and they fail inside. Okay? Figure 8. How many people wrap cables up and just lay it on the ground? You go like this, do it over and under.
No, we
Over and under. And over and under. And I'm gonna put this on the ground. Okay, all the time, right? And then the artist picks it up and it's got catch system. Here's how you're supposed to do it. Do a figure 8. Okay? It never fails, no matter what side the cable's on. Artist picks it up, comes out easy. Okay? Figure 8 cables when an artist is gonna grab it and put it on stage anytime. You can figure 8 cables, all the cables you want, and if you put it on the stage. You can make your figure 8 small, you can make them big and trip hazards, please don't. It's just that wrapping them up like this and putting it on the ground, the problem is the artist could grab it right in here and now you're gonna have problems, okay? With the figure 8, because it's like this, the artist can grab it from anywhere, it still comes undone. So there's a tip for you. All right, I'm gonna talk a little more about sound. It is my forte. And I'm gonna talk about some tricks really quick on how to do a wireless body mic and how to make sure it doesn't fail. But they do. First of all, if you do wireless body mics and they're broken and you're gonna toss them up, don't. Take them apart. Don't just toss the case. All the parts are serviceable. These are off other body mics which had other issues, and I took them apart, and I can replace any one of these parts, including the circuit board. These are good, and I can actually buy a few of these here and there, but take them apart. We have tons of off a base here too. Give yourself a little case, and this can fix just about anything. Matter of fact, I think the one in my hand was repaired by this stuff in here. Body mic. So want to have a successful show? An absolutely successful show? Here's how you do it. You do your check of the body mic in the house, at the sound board, the farthest distance away from your bass unit. Make sure it can travel that far. Once you're done with that, first put fresh batteries in, of course. Don't put in old batteries. And rechargeable batteries are okay for body mics now. Okay? The only thing is, you do have, after 4 years, if this is your senior year, you might have to put a date on it and throw them away, because there is a curve that these things will start to go when they're rechargeable batteries, okay? But they are okay with these. They can go 14 hours with no problems. Fresh batteries, put them in, check the body mic. What's the next thing you should do? Lock it on. Make sure that this is locked. Actors love to press buttons. You don't need to have them press these buttons, okay? I don't want to press your buttons, you don't have to press my equipment buttons, all right? Then you take it, and you're gonna put it in a safe location, especially someplace that is in a hallway where everybody goes. Then the actor can pick it from there up, and take it to the dressing room. However, you want them to bring it back at the end of the night into that location. You got your mouth open.
Your actors mic themselves?
No.
Okay.
Okay,
Like
in
an
the
AT
professional world,
does it?
yes, I'm sorry. In professional world, they do actually take it on and put it on because they have makeup, and makeup is our enemy. And because of that, they have to take it to the dressing rooms to put it on after they do makeup.
Yeah.
So they have a whole costume on, and then they gotta put this on, and it's like the last thing, it's actually backwards, because I know you guys probably put this on and then do makeup, right?
No.
Yeah, good, don't do that. If you can, don't, but sometimes you do. No, actors should have other people help out, find a common area, in a common area, have them all sitting there, have other people help out. Here's your failure, right? Normally it's here and here. Here's what you need to do. Put the body mic upside down. Do not put it up. Person sits down, put pressure on this. These things are weak, very weak stuff. I have probably 90 of these elements sitting near my desk that need to get repaired with the problem. Yeah, lots of years not fixing them, and now I want to fix them. Upside down pouches. Put them in a pouch. Upside down, make sure pouch. These clips, it's missing. This one's missing. They're terrible. These things break all the time. They break off in the wrong place and where you don't want it. Especially if you're flying like Peter Pan, and next thing you see your body might start taking off. Wait a second. You don't want that happening. You want to put it in a pouch. Have it in a pouch, put 2 holes at the bottom. You have customers make a pouch. Do I have the pouches? I don't. That's it. Make a pouch, cut holes in it, make customers make them. They're easy, simple, okay? Number 2, you want to have a successful show? Double mic your leads, right? double mic, put it on there. You got enough body mics, go for it. If you don't have enough mics, it doesn't always happen. But some of the leads should be double mic, especially they don't cut off stage. They don't cut off stage that much. And then the last thing is you wanna make sure you get your body mic back at the inside, which you collect. Take the batteries out. I'll have any question. Take the batteries out. If you're using rechargeable, recharge them. If you're using alkaline and you have a recycling program, that's great. But if you don't worry about it. It's a natural product of the earth. You can go back in the dump and Mother Nature can take care of it for you. I hate to say it, but most times those recycling companies are doing just that. They're just sending it to the landfill. That's it. Oh, handheld wireless mics. This one's broke. It's missing a lot of parts. So I can do this. There's a trick with Shure and Sennheiser and all the rest of them. There's a switch inside that not many people know, and it's not even on the manual. It's a DB switch. And most people have problems, and they don't know they can just take the capsule off and change the DB switch. Okay? So if you have a handheld wireless mic from Sennheiser, for sure, open it up, and you're having problems not getting enough gain out of it, which means you're not getting enough audio signal coming from the performer, open it up, put it back. Be very careful. Okay? You don't want to do this 2 minutes before a show. Only because if you don't screw it in tight enough, this thing's not going to work. All right? Another thing that'll help you guys out, if this thing looks like it's been hit by a hammer, all dented, replace it. See if you can get some money, replace it. Okay? It's cheap, easy. I think it's like $7 now. What's happening is the metal and the rubber is hitting this, and it's vibrating, and that's sounding pretty bad. Okay? So replace that. Plus, they're supposed to be replaced. I mean, you got a lot of people breathing on it. Would you like to grab this out of 40,000 people breathing on it and put it in front of your face? I don't think so. So, you can replace those. Okay, body mic there. Wrangler. Okay. So, that's the wireless mics. The makeup is always your worst enemy. Also, whoever's doing sound, make sure you're on script. I know a lot of people like to do, I've done the rehearsals, done everything. Not on script. Stay on script. Stay on script. I'm telling you, it's going to help you. When troubleshooting happens and someone is the A2, and A2 is the auto system 2, or your Wrangler is on there trying to give you, hey, can you check this, can you check that, and you're not on script, or you don't have other people on script, you can get really lost. You might know the show inside out. Recommend script. Okay, so I'm going to talk a little more about something here. If you're having a problem with the scene, you want to troubleshoot, I'm having so many problems with the scene, I got to troubleshoot. All these characters come on stage all at the same time. All these performers come on stage. If you have a digital board, you can create a scene, right? Create a scene, and you can do it with the scene. Let's say you don't have a digital board. Let's say everybody's going left and right. And you know what? This is it. I have to do major musicals. I only get a day or two to learn it. Okay, how do I do it? I'm going to teach you the trick. The trick is lanyards. What you're going to do is, because I don't have the equipment yet, but they're rehearsing on stage. So I will put lanyards on all the characters with the body mics, names or numbers. And then I will mark my console according to what I see on stage. So here's number 1, right? Number 1. Okay, number 1 up. My console's not on, I'm not doing anything, but I'm going through the muscle memory motion. So I'm sitting there going, okay, I'm on script. And when they change body mics or they have anything else that goes on, there it is, I'm looking at the lanyard. I don't need a body mic. There's a lot of things these lanyards work with the numbers on it. For instance, they do a quick change or a scene change, and it's supposed to be on another character, and all of a sudden that lanyard's not there. You know that, hey, it didn't make it. And then you can talk to that performer afterwards and say, hey, you had the lanyard number 1, you're supposed to go at this scene over there, and it wasn't there. Oh, yeah. So it's a quick way to learn the show. I actually, when I was working at Patio Playhouse, and I had to learn a show because I only had like 2 or 3 days to learn a show, I got a cardboard box. I put it right next to cousin. He was that was actually his name was cousin. Put it right next to the soundboard because he had the soundboard, right? He's doing the show. I can't take his. I have a cardboard. I wrote down names. I had pennies, and I ran the show. And I ran a show. I mean, I know people thought it was weird. They came up to me and go, "What are you doing?" I'm the light-board operator. And that's what I'm doing. But I just pretended to run a show, and I'm just doing muscle memory. And remember, when it came to me taking the show over from Cuz, it was easy. I knew the show was muscle. I knew exactly what was going on. You can do that with video too. But it's a quick trick. It actually works. Oh, and one other thing before I go on the mics and I go on to other things, so there's a lot of things to talk about, is if you're using wireless mics, you are going to use floor mics. Do you guys use floor mics with wireless mics? You should be. Do you have floor mics? PCCs, they look like little mouses with a little tail in the end?
Yeah,
No, the SM, what are they called, SM60?
No, those are regular straight mics.
Oh.
So if you don't have them, okay, you don't have them. But if you can get your school to buy enough to go across the stage, so it depends on the size of the stage, like 3 or 4 of them, they will save your show. They will, because think about that. That wireless mic's capsule is this big. It only can do this much frequency. You got a person that sings opera. That body mic isn't going to do you any good.
Actually, it did me very well when I.
Okay, you got good mics. You got a Countryman, I know you. Not many people have that money to buy the Countryman kind of body mic or the actual.
Oh no, they're supposed to be on violins. Our body mics are tiny little
like
boxes. They are supposed to be on violins.
I know they are. They're pretty good. All right, never mind. So all the other people besides them. No. So floor mics actually have a bigger frequency range, and when that body mic goes out, and if that actor projects, bingo, you've just been saved. You saved everything. Saved the whole show. And if you're doing like just regular straight plays with no body mics, okay, put a couple floor mics on. Okay, doesn't hurt. Maybe an actor's got a cold and all of a sudden halfway during the show, their voice is going out, you know? At least you can add a little extra help there, okay? You're gonna always help out those technicians. Oh, okay, digital boards, analog boards. Number 1 rule, I don't care, I don't know if you guys went to the sound class, I think there's another guy teaching sound. No, okay, if you did, I don't know if he told you this, every board should have the high pass filter on, turn on. Where is it located? Normally next to the gain structure. Notice it says HP, the high pass filter, turn on. Unless you're running a CD player or you've got some massive subs and you've got a kick drum or bass drum, you turn on, it is gonna save all your feedback problems. Okay? It's a frequency that the human ear actually can't hear very well. We don't hear it, but we start to feel it. And when we start, what happens is when it starts to go feedback, we start to hear it. No, we feel it first and then we start to hear it. This filter stops that, okay? So, put it on. Every soundboard has it. I don't know how many times I tell people this all the time, and when my own crew doesn't do it, I'm sitting there going to the board, just punching it all up. Just make sure it's there. We have successful shows because of that. Costumes. Let's put on about costumes a little bit. How to troubleshoot on quick change. The worst costumes I ever deal with, ballerinas. They're terrible with that. Because they have to be sewed in to their costumes. Actually sewed in. The leotard and everything. So you're shaking your head. You gotta, yeah. They gotta be sewed in. And they actually get the what is it called?
Seam ripper?
Yeah, and pull them out. And the reason why is because the quick rig doesn't work for them. What's a quick rig? Anybody do costumes there? Who's doing costumes? Anybody? What are we talking about? It's called quick rig. And there's a series of clips and stuff that do quick changes with, and they can get ripped out. And so because of this gentleman here, his name's Billy. He is a very popular Broadway quick changer and costumer and costume designer, and he right now is with Back in the Future, the musical. This is his quick change troubleshooting bib. That thing has a lot of stuff. It has bobby pins. It has a shoehorn. Let me tell you, I don't know how many people who are doing quick change or who are working in costumes don't even have a shoehorn. You should have a shoehorn. Those shoes, those stilettos are really hard to get into. I don't know, but they probably are. Shoehorns actually help out. There you go. A shoehorn. He's got pins. He's got towels. He's got band-aids. He's got a water bottle for him and a water bottle for the actor. He's got everything on that thing. Why? Because trouble does happen. Every technician here should have, because you guys work in the dark a lot, a headlamp. You guys have headlamps? If you're doing lighting, headlamp. If you're doing sound, you need a headlamp because lighting turns off the light on you. So you need a headlamp, okay? So everyone should have a headlamp if you can find one. When you're doing quick change, I'm going to talk about this when you do quick change real quick. Always communicate with the actor or actress that's performing, and when something goes wrong, make sure that they're okay and what you're doing to help them out. And then of course, direct communication with your stage manager. So that's quick change and costumes when there is a failure. Okay, props. Who's doing props? Anybody? Oh, people doing props? Yeah. Okay, troubleshooting props. You wanna proactive not troubleshoot props? Try to see if an actor or actress uses it a lot, have another prop. If it breaks, you got the backup. Okay, so if there's one prop or another prop that gets used a lot, try to get 2 of those. Okay, so you can get the budget to do that. A lot of these things are budgeted. Another thing is, if you have a prop, I had a prop constantly missing. Couldn't find it. Didn't know where it went. That's what I did. I took an air tag, took the speaker out, put it on the prop. And I found it. It's at his house. Okay? Yep. Yeah, but he had an iPhone, which is great because I can find the prop. So, if you have a prop that seems to be missing, it's something that can happen. You have a way of finding your prop. The reason why you take the speaker out, because the prop could be on stage during a performance. You don't need to hear that go off, right? But at least you know where it's at. It's just a quick thing. You can do it. Or any type of, type of thing to find it, tracking. Just one way. We'll talk about, you guys ever dealt with firearms? Do you guys ever deal with firearms? Good. We'll go, oh, you have? A little bit? And a prop? A little bit? Okay, you got rules and regulations with those. You've got to be in the stage manager and yourself have to be complete control. You should never be missing any of those. All right. Let's see, go on with that. And then gaffer's tape. I have that. Let's see. All right, so what should props have? If you're doing props, you should have some gaffer's tape, black or white, some glue and some super glue. Why is that important? Props are sometimes made out of plastic. You can fix those really quick, especially with super glue. You should have some drills accessible, some screws in there, in case you have some wood props or something like that. You normally go over to the people working on carpentry. They don't care if you borrow the drill. Yeah, they do. But you should have a couple of those, and they should be somewhere near the stage during the show, right? That's what they should be. Some touch-up paint, important with the prop. So if you have a prop that's brown, you want to have a little touch-up paint, that way you can go on stage and pretty good. And then a pair of scissors or some Sharpies with different colors, and all this should live in some type of crate, so you can get it really quick during the show. Okay. Okay, we're talking about that gaffer's tape. Gaffer tape's your friend, but it's got some problems with it. It doesn't stick very well anymore. If your gaffer tape is like more than a year old, gaffer tape is the glue is starting to fail. It happens. So there are some things. How many people spike their stage? And how many people here use packing tape? How many people use vinyl dance floor tape? Okay, 2 items that you're not using with your spike tape. When you, production manager, stage manager, spike the stage and you're running for rehearsal, what's happening to the spike tape? Is it still there? It lifts up, right? And now you're gonna constantly put more spike tape down, right? Here's your solution. Packing tape. You're gonna write your cues down, everything you need to do on your spike tape. I know some people do that. And then you put packing tape over it. Clear packing tape. Or vinyl dance. There's a trick you should learn. And then all of a sudden, wow, it's been 2 weeks and now 1 ounce of spike tape has gone off the floor. It works, okay? You gotta make sure, because the spike tape will only last for a couple of weeks technically, okay? You're running things over, so there's a trick to do. How's this? Do I show it? No. All right. So normally in carpentry we do not have failures, right? Because we are the manufacturers. We build the set, we put it together, and it's a wonderful day. The casters are all working. What? It's not? There's failures in carpentry? Oh. What is your failure? Is this stage break a failure? Who built this thing? Who? And why do they still sell this? Where's it fail? Right here, right? This is his failure point. It also fails because we forget to take it off while we're moving a set. And you hear next thing you know, you're looking on stage, there's the spike marks all missing and a bunch of, what tracks are those? I'm going to figure out the show, right? All right, so they have improved this a little bit, but they still sell this one. There are other things you guys can do to solve this. All right, so what are some things we can do to solve this to make sure that this doesn't happen? First thing is lower down your platforms to less than a 1/4 inch off the stage. It's actually, you have no manufacturer that tells you what this thing and how to put it on. They just give you a piece, it's in a piece of plastic, and they hand this to you, and they don't tell you that this thing has to actually be sitting 1/4 inch to the stage. It should be really tight to the stage. That's how it works the best. Okay. Number 2, when you're using a stage brake, don't lift up the wheels on it. It's enough to get it to not move. When you do that, when you're lifting up the wheels, you're putting stress on this, and this thing bends and breaks. All right. Another thing to help you out, glow tape this. Put some glow tape on this. When it's in this position, you see the glow tape. When it's missing, you know it's up in the air. Okay? And then you can use wood blocks, wedges, and anything else to block your thing. It's a lot of fun. What else in carpentry fails? What are these? Do I have upside right? I do. All right, flats, right? We have here a theatrical flat, right? We have a Hollywood flat. I have other names for this, but we're gonna call it Hollywood flat. All right. Do these things fail, or do they fall?
Yes.
Yeah, they fall. Are you guys allowed to screw into your stage?
Yes.
You're a blessing if you screw into your stage. Do you want to screw into your stage? No. No. So what do we do that keeps these from falling over? Can't screw into stage. How are we going to troubleshoot this? How are we going to make this work? You're going to brace it. You're going to go to your set designer, first of all, and you say, you know what? We're not allowed to screw into the stage here. I'm like, what? That's right. What he's going to do is this. All right, this is my flat. Okay? And now here's my other flat. Stick it right there behind it. Now, he's created something super strong. Okay, so he's going to design a couple more flats for you. Now you can call it A-bracing, that sometimes do. Okay, the A-braces are nice and wonderful, they're built the right way, but hardly are. The flat, put it in the back of it, now it's super strong. Which one do you think is the best design for feet? Which one?
On your right.
This one?
All of the
Or
actual
this one?
flats, it's gonna be serious.
This one?
It's gonna work, but it's
Yeah,
gonna be
that is
heavier.
best of that. Actually, this is the best flat. Okay? It's best flat because it's super strong and they changed it to metal, which is what you guys don't have. But metal lasts longer, it's stronger, it's stable, and it has a way of not bowing or bending, so when the outside parts are wood, so it is metal on the inside frame. You screw it together, it's nice and tight, right? So, there you go, that's it. But this is the best way of doing it. The Hollywood is fine because you can screw on the bottom stuff, but you're not allowed to screw on the stage in the first place. You shouldn't be. I know people want to do it. If you can do it, what's the problem with screwing in the stage?
Holes.
You got a lot of holes. What's the other problem with screwing in the stage? Because people unscrew during strike and they break the screws, right? Next thing you know, you got all these things sticking out of your stage. So there are problems with that. So I don't recommend it. If you can do it without screwing the stage, that would be your best. Let's look at this video here. This is what happens when you see. Here's the brake. It is down. It is facing the audience. You should be hiding your brakes. We don't want to know that you've got the safety brake on. Okay. So, but let's look at the scene here and see if this door opened correctly. Okay. Did this door open correctly? Let's find out.
Oh dear.
All right.
I would have thought better, Mr. Bogey.
So what do you think happened there? The hinges. Whose fault is that? Carpentry. I don't blame anybody around here, okay? I don't blame carpentry. We all work as a team. It's nobody's fault. You know how many people's fault? It's a bunch of people. Okay? First of all, the set design, set build. They forgot to screw in the hinges, correct? All right, they forgot to screw in here. Okay, that's one person. Didn't do a check. Second person, yes.
The actor didn't do it.
Ah, how did this even happen? Where's the run through? Right. There was no scene to scene, no run through. That one shouldn't have happened, right? Because it would have been screwed in. Who else could be at fault with this one? I don't say at fault, because no one should be at fault. We all should have been working in a team and we all should have been checking stuff. Who else could have been responsible for this? How about that production manager, stage manager?
Gavin.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So in the professional world, the assistant stage manager is responsible for the props and the set itself. They are the babysitter of everything. Your performers and the set. But the performers and the set.
Everything and everyone.
And everyone, right? You walk the set before the curtain opens and you look and you make sure all your props are there and you make sure that the hinges are screwed onto the set. You actually should be opening up doors, checking things, and then anything you find you let the carpenters know, you let the sound people know there's a cable up, you let the lighting person know, and then if you're on the deck and you're looking at this person in black laying down, and you ask them, where did you come from? And they point way up there, you look for the ladder that they fell off of, okay?
So, did she tell you that she almost fell?
Alright.
She almost fell back. I was trying to take off her kiss glove, and then I just like, and then she leaned back.
Down here is the proper way that has been taught all over American theater how to tape cable. Okay? So wherever you go, you should be taping it this. What you do is you stretch your cable out, you tape this side first, then you tape the other side, and then a long piece down the middle, or as many cable you have. This is to not have a trip hazard. Alright, we don't want a trip hazard. This is so that I can correctly check or replace my tape if it failed. Tape has a problem. After it sits for a long time, it sticks it to cable like you can't believe. And next thing you know, you're out there trying to clean cable. So, I take my first piece off, and take the second piece off. And I should be able to take my cable up. Instead of 100 pieces of cable, different directions. A lot of people like to put the little slash marks on, you know what I mean? When they put the cable down and then they run a whole bunch of different lines across the cable. Don't do that, because if you want to troubleshoot a cable and get that cable up, it's not going to help anybody. It's just going to be a big mess. All right? You should just run one big line. Or something in that nature. This is 250 shows. This is how much tape I have. I have a big budget for gaff tape. The reason why is I provide everybody in my building that comes in tours with gaff tape. And the reason for that is so they're not using any other tape but what I provided. My tape is new, it's within about a year purchased, which it is. I won't tell you how many rolls, and I won't tell you the price, but it's expensive. But everything, from the fly system to the spike tape, it's just the way it is. And that is our tape ball. We were trying to go for the world record. When we found out, there was no record. So, and then it fell apart. Our tape ball. Yeah, it's gone. All right. Does everybody know how to make a clove hitch? We got a few people know. This is the most popular hitch that you should know. And every cable, so it doesn't fall, every single cable that you have, you guys use, it's called slash cable. But do you guys do this to your cable? Do you guys put a little tie in your cable here? You should. You shouldn't be tying it up with the actual cable itself. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hand you some of these nicely slash cords, I call it. And you guys are going to see if you can make a clove hitch. So what else do you think we use clove hitches for?
No.
No? Yeah. Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Oh, I could do this. I might be able to do this. I forget. Yeah, it's pull it through. Okay, yeah. I was just
Go ahead and look at what's on the screen. You do not know how to do it?
No, of course not.
I think I kind of remember.
Okay, well look at the screen there.
My
We use this in everything we do. We must do this more than anything else. I'll walk on stage and I'll be hanging cables or...
Oh, my owie, mama.
It's some more.
Oh my god, I'm working for this.
Wait, tie me up. She found that funny. She found that. Oh, she got it on film. Oh no. Send that to me though. Wait, hold your arm out. I want to try. Okay, so this over. This. Okay, and this one is this little. I
Okay, just look at that, try to see if you can figure this out. Tie it around. You can tie it around someone's arm, but not too tight, okay? Slash K and cord.
Yes.
Why'd you flip it over?
Uh-huh.
Right? So, and then you see the space like in between here?
Oh.
And then you flip it.
Okay, let me try again.
Oh my god, I
Got that? Got that? You got some? Practice with some?
And then
There you go.
oh my gosh, I'm literally a knot master.
I just
So, what troubleshooting is this?
Let's make a slip knot now.
You guys are troubleshooting, trying to figure out how to no slip knots, I heard that.
We'll shut the sheep shape.
No bowlines and a half.
Sheep shape.
Is it over?
You could never do
Like that.
I hate knots.
That one, okay.
Everybody, you got it?
The bunny, right? It goes out of the hole.
All right, can I borrow someone's arm?
Why do you have
All right, come over. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna show you how it's done real quick. And you can get the video. We're gonna go over and put your arm out like this. Yeah, that's good. Take up over our arm. Okay. Take my thumb. Push it to my left. And bring it over. I'm gonna go through the rabbit hole. And then I'm going to push hard. Not right now. I don't want to lose our fingers, okay? And that's all to it. So, every single one of the cables that you have put in the air, every cable that you have for sound, should be up there. You're going to, why are we doing this? We want to maintain neatness in our cables, and we want to make sure that when we grab our mic cables, or any type of cable we have, it's in good shape. And this is how we do it when we tie it up on things.
Can we take this home with us?
You can take it home.
I'm gonna be tired and I need all of mine.
No.
Okay, so, here's some things you guys can do when you guys are doing carpentry scene changes and set changes. This is a scenario. You know it's going to happen during the show, right? You're going to know this is going to happen. The wagon with the door on it is supposed to be at stage left, and somehow during the scene change, it's at stage right. Stage managers, this is what you're going to do. You're going to do a strike set scene change, which means you're going to take everything and put it on the opposite side, and then you're going to run your scene. And without the actors, just yourself. You're going to call the scene and see how fast it takes to get it back the right way. And you know what? You do it a couple times, and you try to get down to the actual scene change, you're going to find out that, oh my God, it happened. The door during the show was on the wrong side, and because you rehearsed it, you can get that door to the right side fast. Okay? So you can do scenarios and go through and try to see if you can do a few things, especially in the scene changes. And that will help you troubleshoot that. Okay, so this happened. This is a ballet, this is a nutcracker. This is my mistake. I created a whiteout. Okay? So, this is what happens when snow hits the ground at a high velocity speed and the audience can't see the performance. So, this is at the very end of the fun of it all. I was in charge of the flight system, and I actually went the wrong way with the rope and bumped the entire setup. Okay? So what was my mistakes? So I go back and I look at my mistakes. First thing I have to do is clean up this mess. So I use a leaf blower. That's the fastest way, okay? So after I figured out that I can use a leaf blower on stage and clean up the mess, and now that it's all back in the bag, I rehearsed it without the snow in it. The problem I had was I had not enough light on my line set, and I had 2 other scene changes prior to this. Fast changes. And when you have fast changes and you're trying to get things done, and the moment of that heat and you gotta get it done, you make the mistake. The question is how to get around this, how to not make that mistake again. So what I did was I got another person on stage to handle the rest of the other 2 scene changes I had prior to this, so that when I got to this, I could actually physically run the snow back. This lasts 15 minutes. And then and this happened right away. The problem is, it's 15 minutes of moving the line set back and forth with 300 pounds pig iron, which is weight. So I knew I had a lot of time, a lot of work to do to make it happen. I just went too fast, wasn't concentrating, and I needed to kind of focus. So there's some things to think about. Remember the pirates? We got that lots of space there. They're all sitting there, and they're not troubleshooting. They need to back up, look at the scenario, look at the situation. Same thing I had to do. I had to back up. I had to look at what could I do to improve this so it wouldn't happen. Look at the situation I'm in. I realized I need help. I called in help to run the other line sets. The line sets are the ropes that come down to move the lines come down. So that is some things you can do. You can back up. You can take your time and try to figure out ways to fix it. All right, so do you guys have any troubleshooting or any equipment that is failing right now and you'd like to see me try to troubleshoot?
Actually, yeah, both of us might have.
Okay, let's start with this gentleman here.
Our rigging system?
Rigging system. Oh, you come to the right person. No. You want to see my back belt? You want to see? This is what you're supposed to be wearing on stage if you're using a rigging system. Are you guys wearing these?
Nope.
I think so. All right. All right. Have you guys got a back belt? You should be having this. A back belt?
Nope.
This is my troubleshooting back belt. Okay? It's got this little bag. This is for lighting instruments. It has, you guys are not allowed to have knives. Alright, sorry, no knives, nothing like that. But you can get a Gerber without the knives in it, okay? And then, what are these? Carabiners, right, alright. Very good. Rigging, what's wrong with it?
Just really hard to pull because we don't have an electrical one. We have a
Really hard to
cable
pull.
one.
Do you have a loading bridge?
Yeah.
And your loading bridge? Okay, so you have a loading bridge. Hard to pull. When's the last time it was inspected?
I really don't know.
Okay, there's your problem. So, you need to talk to your teacher if you're having a hard time, because this is critical. You do this. You're gonna talk to your teacher, you're gonna call up and you're gonna say, our line sets are having issues. We're having a hard time pulling. And she goes, I don't know. Call Clancy. Tell your teacher, call Clancy. My name is Peter. He's the OSHA inspector for this area. You can come up there. He can at least diagnose what the problem is. You just told me, I want you to make your theater safe, and you want to make your theater safe because there might be a potential problem with your shifts up there and a possible dangerous situation in the future of our fellow students that line set might have an issue go, okay? So tell your teacher about it, tell, hey, we need to get this fixed. If it doesn't happen, you can go ahead and look up J.C. Clancy on your own, look for Peter the inspector, and just send him an email. He is, I don't know, what school district? Is it LA School District?
We're in Laguna Beach.
Laguna Beach, fine, that's fine, still in the top point. He takes care of all of the school districts, and help you out. Okay, next question, anyway, I saw you guys have a.
Oh, right here. I'm new to lighting design, so like I don't know that much about what I can do to instruments.
Yeah.
But I have a moving light, and my mover, it's the last one, so I
Is
really
it
don't
the
want
last
to lose
mover in the
it.
line?
It's
Okay.
the only one I have left, and its home position keeps resetting.
Yes, we had the same question on the last class. Do you have a Terminator?
I wouldn't
Don't know
know.
Terminator.
Yeah.
Okay, so look at your lighting instrument. Look at your mover. You should have a plug going in, which is DMX cable going into that, and there should be a small thing looking like a cable, looking like a little device hanging out called Terminator.
Okay.
And it looks, actually, if we take a mic cable, here's a trick. I'll give you a trick. Take a mic cable. Don't tell anybody I didn't tell you this. One. Cut it. Okay, here's my cable. You can actually take these apart and make a Terminator out of them by simply not hooking up the wires to it.
Okay.
It needs it. What's happening is the home position, it can't find it. And so you also need to check, one other thing, check your light board and make sure that the address is not close to each other of the other instruments in line. Pull the addresses line. What universe are you using?
2, yeah.
Very good. And you're using all the other instruments on one, right?
Yeah. LEDs
The
on 2.
dimmers, the LEDs are on 2, the dimmers are on 1.
We have
Okay,
LEDs.
good. Yeah,
and,
good.
yeah.
You want to make sure that moving those LEDs are on a different universe.
Yeah.
They can get, but spread your addresses out and get and get the Terminator on there. I bet you it's Terminator's not there. Put in, reset it, reset the board, look at it, and then it should go back to home position. Another way is take the instrument out, take it somewhere else. In line.
I
It's our
think we
last
did try
one, it's
changing
so
Chin.
sad.
Okay,
Yeah.
don't worry about it.
I know, and I really like my favorite.
What, was that any other questions?
Difficult.
I'm here for you guys. I'm here. What time is this lesson?
Right now, 5:30.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys, go!
You grab it.